Now we're going to critique Annalisa's action project. Okay, so got a moving car series. So um, nice. Okay, so you enjoyed the light painting activity, so you wanted to do some more of that. That's great. Um, yeah, this looks really good. It's a nice composition. Um, can't really say there's a whole lot of change about it. Um, yeah, it looks pretty good. Maybe this light doesn't necessarily need to be there, but yeah, it just looks really nice. Let's go to the next one. Okay. So, very similar, and yeah, very similar composition. It's very simple, just kind of a diagonal. Um, yeah, it works just fine. There might be a little bit of detail over here that you could enhance. It might be a little dark, seeing as how there's some really cool things happening in the sky over there. Isn't it neat what these lights do? This kind of starburst effect that it creates. That's really cool. Not quite sure what this line here is. I don't think it's helping. This would be, yeah, I think it'd probably be okay to just kind of get rid of that. That you could fix that with the uh, healing brush tool. Okay, so more of the same. I guess the only thing I would say is I would like to see a little bit more variety in these. I mean, they look great. I'm seeing that you're using a shutter speed of 30 on all of them, and just for fun, I wonder what would happen if you experimented with the shutter speed a little bit. Um, I think that you would get different effects. You very different effects. With depending on the shutter speed. With 30, this you're pretty much guaranteed to have just completely smoothed out lines. This is probably where somebody was changing lanes or something. See how that line just kind of disappears there. A few with a faster shutter speed might have been interesting just for some variety, because I think you would have a different kind of look. But I mean, other than that, I don't really have any criticism on it, or not much. You could lose this right here. This would be super easy to get rid of, and it's a little bit of a distraction. And that's what's nice about working in Photoshop. Okay. Now this one's very interesting as far as composition goes. You may be tilted just a little bit. I feel like your horizon is just a little bit crooked. But I really like what you've done with this one here. You've gone with like a super hypersymmetrical layout, and so basically the only thing that's different is the taillights, red taillights on that side, and the white headlights on that side. It's really interesting. Um, and then when you have that much similarity, your eye starts to kind of look for any differences or any variations. And one thing that my eye keeps going to is I love this. You know, um, I guess the car would be driving slower because it's on the exit ramp, and so therefore you've got kind of a more broken um, thing happening with the tail lights. Um, yeah, this right here, I probably would get. I would probably get rid of. It's just because it's so bright and it's kind of just halfway on the picture and halfway off. Maybe bring out a little bit of detail in the background over here. But yeah, this one so far, I think, is the most interesting just because um, it's going beyond just a nice picture, a nice composition. I really think you're kind of, telling us something here, and you're experimenting with extreme symmetry. It's not easy to get an interesting composition when it's super symmetrical. Symmetry is pretty easy to do, but it's not easy to make interesting. So, I think you succeeded with that here. Okay, another another one. This is kind of cool too. Yeah, I think just where the cars are entering and exiting the expressway, they're driving slower, and you're getting a little bit of variation in the line there. So, I think that'd be kind of cool. But there's some really neat things happening in this one. I love this blue streak right in here. And I love the kind of pink quality that the lights get over in here. It's really nice. Let's see. Okay, this one's really cool as well. And I like this one too because there's just a little bit more something going on. Um, it's it's yeah, this one's a little bit more interesting, just because you're including some other things. This sign is interesting in that it gives us, just kind of an indicator where you are. Just if somebody was looking at this, they might want to try to figure out where it was. Some of the things happening over here are super cool. I'm not sure exactly. Maybe somebody had one of those like neon things on the side of their car or something. I don't know, but that's really cool right there. So, it's when you get these irregularities, that it becomes, a little bit more interesting. And if you're gonna, do variations on a very, very similar theme like this, and you're doing it kind of all at one time, in the same night, um, I think you kind of need to look for little things like that to um, give you variation. And and again, I would say, I see you change your shutter speed a little bit, went a little bit faster here, and perhaps that's why we're getting this broken, colorful line over here. I really don't know, um, but it's like just so that when we look at the series as a whole, um, there's enough. There's plenty of consistency. That is not a problem. There's plenty of consistency, so that they all very much feel like they belong together. But I think they need a little bit more variety. One of the things that we talk about in design is, finding that balance between unity and variety. If you have too much variety and not enough unity, you've got an ununified, you know, piece of work. It's not coherent, it's chaotic. And so, you need to introduce some unity to that. And, one way you can do that is through repetition. And, when you have something that's, very repetitive, um, it's sometimes just those little things, just those little variations can make a difference. And so, that this one and the one that's kind of symmetrical, I'm responding to the most right now, just because they are a little different, from the rest of the images. So, you did a nice job on these. I just want to kind of flip back through them one more time. Yeah. I mean, the compositions are great on these. Um, and this is the kind of thing, I mean, you could easily get 20. just really, really awesome pictures. It might even be kind of hard to pare it down, and I'm sure you just got dozens and dozens of them. But yeah, I mean, I would say that's really my only major criticism is just getting a little bit more variation in there. But just other than that, really nice job. So let's go ahead and take a look at your conclusion.